Yeah, we can talk about it now. So, I'll boil this down for a lot of people that may have just seen like a bit of what's going on Twitter. So, Mutahar and Carl, they work together to investigate a YouTuber named the Completionist and his charity foundation. It's called the Open Hand Foundation. And basically, since it's a charity foundation, their records are public. So they can see what money comes in and what money goes out, like to charitable causes. Basically, they're a middleman. They take in donations, the charity that is, and it's all under the pretense that it's going to be donated to a benefactor that's going to fight against dementia, like come up with treatments, maybe a cure, anything to combat dementia. Mutahar and Carl decided to dig through their financials because, again, all of that's public. And what they found is since 2014, they haven't donated a single penny to any causes, anything at all. All of that money, it's like $600,000 and some change, is still just sitting in their account. Despite the Completionist doing these charity fundraisers yearly and telling people where, like the money's going here and there and it's being used to help people, this and that. Meanwhile, it has just been sitting in an account. And they interviewed him, and he also recognized, like, this is a problem. And there was a couple things he said that really didn't sit right with me, where he kind of made it seem like his biggest concern was his public image as a result of all of this. So he'd be like, maybe if I have to just take the L here, like, this isn't a take the L situation. If you've been misleading people with a charity's purpose and what it's been doing for all of these years, that's like a very big deal. Very, very big deal. It's not just like a, frivolous internet drama. So that's kind of the situation in a nutshell. He hasn't come forward with like a full statement on his own outside of the interview they did where he does own up to all of it, though he says it's not on purpose. He's just made a mistake. He was under the assumption that the money was being donated. Turns out it hasn't been, so it's just been sitting stagnant, collecting dust and cobwebs in the bank account for the charity foundation. And there was a lot of other really weird stuff, and I won't get into the weeds. I highly recommend watching either Mutahar's video or Carl's video on it where they go over it. But there are a lot of other weird things in there, such as the way that they report what money gets spent on like operational costs. There was just a lot of red flags. But the biggest thing is he continues to raise money for this charity. Everyone who donates believes that money is going towards the cause that he is promoting, like, hey, this money is being used to combat dementia, find treatments, this and that. That's where we're sending the money. It's not. It's just sitting in a bank account. So that's the big problem. It's just lying to the audience. Now, from everything they've reported, Mutahar and Carl haven't said that he's pocketing the money or anything like that. I know Dexerto ran a dog shit article claiming that that's what Mutahar and Carl were saying. They're not. They are not making the claim that the Completionist or anyone on his team is taking that money for themselves. It's just since, again, all of the records are public, you can see that the money is still just in that account. It is still just sitting there for 9 fucking years. And it's because they can't find the right benefactor, which is a really weird excuse that doesn't make a lot of sense at all. Didn't they have like $100K operating expenses? Something like that, which again, they don't report what the actual operating expenses were, like specifically, which makes them very vulnerable to an audit, which is something they talk about. It's just all very fishy. It's very poorly ran. That is a crazy sounding documentary, Smokey. I'll have to check that out. And thanks for the tin, Snake. Hope you both feel better. Thanks for the tin, Wyatt. Hope you and Katie feel better soon. So it's just incompetence, not malice. It's more than incompetence, though. It'd be like full-blown negligence to the point where it's like borderline illegal. I don't even know it'd be borderline. I think it would be just like straight up illegal if they get audited and they find all of these like big red flags. You can't just have a charitable organization make all of these claims about where the money's going. On their website, they even list like a university that they say that they're one of like the historic funders of or something to that effect, even though they haven't donated any money to any of those causes or anything in general. Like, it's all very, very bad sounding. I'm very curious to see what the Completionist will say about it outside of the interview he did here. I would really like to hear more from him on exactly what the fuck is going on and why it's in that place. Hey, Gunnar, good to see you. And of course, man, it was a banger video you made. Keep up the good work. I'd appreciate it, leader. Thanks for the membership, Jacob. And the resub, Andy. DJ Khaled's in Fortnite. Oh, cool. It's about time. Man's a Fortnite god. In this case, the negligence isn't hurting anyone. When I read things like that, like I just have to sit there and process it for a second. It takes a while to register just how you could actually believe that. Like, legitimately, or if you're just kidding. They've collected over $600,000 in donations from their community. Normal people, like you, like everyone in chat, donating under the idea, the belief, because they're being told that that money is being used to help against the battle, help in the battle against dementia. And it's not. It's just sitting in a bank account right now. So everyone who has donated money lost money, and it didn't go to the cause they thought it would. That they thought it would. That was the whole reason they donated the money, to go towards that cause, which it hasn't. It's been sitting there for 9 years. Thanks for the gifted member, Jacob. I don't have any ideas for that, Andy, but I hope you find a solution. Thanks for the gifted member, Warrior. Do they use the money to pay themselves? That is not the claim anyone's making, but they do have operational costs listed, and they're not like super small, to be honest. They're pretty large costs that they incur, and they don't specify what exactly they're paying. So the whole thing is fishy. Again, this is like a prime audit situation where they would face the IRS here. Thanks for that. I like to make. You see the British airline pilot that did cocaine off of a stripper before flight. That was probably the fastest flight in recorded aviation history. Those passengers got to their destination lickety-split. I did not play the new Hellboy game, but I do know about it. Just a very peculiar situation here, Jordan. Again, if you want, I just went over like the very basic. If you want to get into the weeds of it and really understand the situation, watch Mudahar's video or Carl's video covering this. They both go in depth, obviously, on all of it and talk about everything and exactly the implications and what's going on. And then I'm assuming the Completionist will probably make some kind of public statement very soon because it is such a huge deal. And I'm very curious what exactly he's going to talk about. Because he was interviewed here, again. He did say his piece. It wasn't a very good piece, but I am curious where it goes from here. The IRS is always watching. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah, they are.